Recording. Do you want me to go ahead and
Okay.
introduce?
Want me to start then?
Yeah, let's
Sure.
go ahead and pray.
Okay. Our dear Father in heaven, we're so grateful that we can be here tonight with each other. We're thankful that we can learn together and have the Spirit here with us to have our minds and our hearts be touched and guided with the things that we need to do and motivated to move forward and do the things that we know will help us to help others and bring peace and happiness to ourselves and those around us. And we thank thee for this beautiful meeting in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Emily. Hey, everyone. Emerald Ambassador here, Melanie Allen, and I'm so honored to be here with Rachel Wagner, Emerald Ambassador. We do this 100 PV VIP call, and we were so excited. We started talking. We were like, who inspires us like crazy? Of course, Emily Gibson. Whoop, whoop. We're so honored to have you on tonight, Emily. You are such an inspiration. So much of what you share with us, it's just golden. You're on the Leaders Board every week for a reason, and I'm so excited I've got my notebook ready to take some notes and apply what you teach us tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to you. Just share a little bit about your story, maybe when you started Plexus, how long it took you to go Diamond, and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to pass it over.
Thank you so much for that. That's one way to really boost a girl up on a Thursday night, right? Okay. I started Plexus 2 years ago. This coming Monday, the 16th of October, was my 2-year Plexiversary. So I'm excited to celebrate that, and I can't believe that it has been 2 years. I started Plexus right after I had my fourth baby. My kids were 7, 5, 3, and 4 months. And I remember being really hesitant to order because at the time my husband was working 3 jobs, 6 days a week. And we were pretty much living paycheck to paycheck. And I think that when you hear someone say that, you think, oh my gosh, they're poor. But my husband was making over $100,000 a year. We just had student loans, a mortgage, the water heater that would break, the air conditioner that would go out, the car that needed tires, the kids who were in ballet, soccer. There was nothing that we were doing that was extravagant. And we were certainly living within our means, except for the fact that my husband worked on commission. And every summer we would take a week-long free family vacation to my parents' house. And that week vacation would put us into about $8,000 worth of debt. And that just because he would take that week off and then he would have to come back and get his patients. He's a doctor of physical therapy, so he can't just come back and fall right into his schedule. The people have been moved to other clinicians, and I can't explain how it happened, but it was like you come back and then there's a slow month and then there's another slow month. And then it's just like, I used to say, like, if they could just give us the amount that you make in a year equally every single month, we'd be fine. But it just, I don't know. If you've ever lived on commission that is not enough, and you've had a bad month, you know what that feels like. And I used to really feel like just so defeated by that. I remember that was the biggest obstacle for me starting Plexus, was I already felt like I was failing with our money, and then to go and buy something that didn't feel necessary. I felt so guilty about that. And so as you're talking to people, recognize that 78% of Americans are living like that, with those feelings about their finances. So as you talk with them, I know I know that you want them to try the products, and we want them to feel better on the products, but you have such an amazing thing to offer them that is beyond the products. And I would have never listened to Brooke about that because I'm not a nurse. Who would listen to me, right? And so that's what I thought. And so many people that we're talking to have A, stopped dreaming, and B, they don't have the mindset to believe in themselves to do something that's not conventional. And so when I finally, after 2 months, a month, well, it's probably about a month, after about a month of Brooke following up with me, Brooke Hemingway is my sponsor. After about a month of Brooke Hemingway following up with me, I finally joined, hoping that it would help with my milk supply. And so it took me 3 weeks to get my products. There was some back office switchover. I don't know if you are familiar with that happening, but that's what happened. Literally, so Brooke joined in September. Her stuff got to the island of Kauai. You guys, Amazon doesn't even ship certain things there. I've tried to send her some stuff and she's like, it's like, oh, we don't deliver to that location. Amazon doesn't even ship there sometimes. She got her Plexus products in 4 days when she ordered. 4 days. I am like 3 weeks, no products, right? And I'm like, Brooke, what is up? I've tried to call. I sit on hold for 2 hours. No one answers. And I've called 3 times. I'm like literally called to try and cancel my order 3 times because I was convinced I had been scammed because they took my money immediately, right? And so finally my products show up, and a week into the products, I decide I'm going to pump and see if I have extra milk, right? Well, I don't ever pump. First of all, I never pumped. I was always nursing, right? So I pump, and in my mind, it didn't give enough of what I thought I should have after 7 days, right? We know quick fixes don't work. I'll really just hope they are one. Right? I always say that to people when they start Plexus. I say, look, I know you don't believe in quick fixes. That's why you're here at Plexus. But we all secretly still want them. So I want you to remember that when you come to me after 30 days and say, where's my miracle? And I say, oh, remember? Not a quick fix. If you want a quick fix, let me direct you to Accelerator, Edge, Block maybe. Those are some quicker fixes. But Triplex and X Factor, girl, we need 90 days. And so anyway, so I pumped. And it didn't look like there was, it looked like there was less. And this is so funny to even say out loud. I was convinced that it had changed the color of my breast milk. I was like, it's gray and it normally was yellow. It's changed it. And Brooke, like, I remember I called her and I was like, I'm done. I'm done. And we didn't have the money back, right? For ambassadors back then. So I was like, I'm just done. I'm not even going to finish. And she's like, Emily, I'm impulsive. By the way, she's like, Emily, please just finish out your 30 days. And she was like, it can't even do that. It's not even possible. And I was like, it's not? No. Okay, I'll keep going. And so then 1 week later, I wake up one morning and I feel really good. Like I wake up and I remember opening my eyes in my bedroom and being like, wow, my heart's not racing. First time in my whole life I've woken up and not had my heart beating out of my chest. I got out of bed and I was like, feel rested. That's weird. Because before Plexus, I could sleep 2 hours or 10 hours and never feel rested. Sleep never worked on me, right? So I go downstairs, I go mix my pink drink in the pantry because I don't want anyone to see that I'm doing it in my family. And I sure don't want my friends to know that I'm doing it. And so mix my pink drink, slam it down, go get breakfast ready for my kids, get my kids up, and I feel electric. Like I just remember feeling like, oh, it feels so good. And I get my kids all looking out the door, and my daughter looks up at me. She's 5, and she says, Mommy, you're not mean anymore. And I didn't know whether to laugh or cry, right? It's more funny now. It was kind of funny then, but I also remember thinking like, oh, shoot, now it works. Dang it. I can't pay for this, right? And so then I decided that I was going to walk around my house and get a bunch of stuff done. So I was like getting laundry done, putting stuff away. I hadn't showered in 3 days. My hair was super greasy. Like I was not looking cute. The baby barfed all over me, and I kept getting this like overwhelming impression that I needed to make a video and share what I was feeling. And I remember texting my husband and I was like, I have to say something on Facebook. And he was like, no. no. Because he knows me, okay? And so, and loves me for it. But he knew what this would mean, right? And I was like, I'm sure nobody will see it. Like, nobody's even going to say anything. I feel like I just have to do it. I feel like I'm supposed to. And at this point, Brooke still thinks I'm quitting, okay? So I make this 6-minute video. You can watch it. It's called Fully Out of the Plexus Closet. And I literally post it and I tag Brooke and I say, this is all your fault, Brooke Hemingway. And in my mind, I legitimately thought that nobody would even comment on it or like it or anything. I was like, nobody watches videos anyway. No one's going to even look at this. Okay. So I post the video, I go get my daughter from kindergarten, and 45 minutes later, I come back home, and I don't even have Messenger on my phone at this time, you guys. Like, it's just, I was making lunch for my kids, and I opened up Facebook, and I had 22 comments on the post and 45 messages in my inbox.
Wow.
And I called Brooke, and I said, did you see my video? And she said, yeah. And so my friend Amy Paul, she wants to get on a Zoom with you tonight and have a chat. Are you free? And I was like, I'm not talking to some crazy mom who has 7 kids in homeschools. Like, there's no way I'm talking to somebody who does that. And so they got me on the call that night, and Amy said to me, you are going to be the first Jewel of Utah. You're going to be the first emerald. You're going to be the first diamond. And I was like, girl, I just want my products paid for, like, maybe for a month or two before everybody, like, doesn't want to do this ever again. And my mindset was so small that I was just like, maybe we'll have a couple $100 extra for 3 or 4 months. Maybe. My vision was so short-sighted. And I don't think that I'm any different from 99% of people that join Plexus. I think that's how most people join this business. Mm-hmm. And the ones that come in, like, saying they're going to go diamond and do all that, those are the ones that I'm like, oh no. Because the ones that I mean, with the exception, there are exceptions to the rule, because I have had a couple of really amazing girls come in and they're like all gung-ho and they did it and they've run all the way. Christy Jex is one of those people, but you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I ran from that point. That was November 12th. So I didn't post that till November 12th, right? Because it took forever to get my products. Yeah. Ashley, yep, for sure. And so I posted November 12th, and I was emerald 6 months later. First Jewel of Utah. It was so amazing, you guys. Like, I can't even describe what that felt like. It was all this hard work, and I just remember, like, feeling like I had conquered something that I never believed that I could do. And then at my 13-month mark, I was sapphire, and at my 18-month mark, diamond. And I was blessed with a team who caught that vision and ran with me, and I was one of the earners for the Musha Key Convention Contest this last spring. And you all saw the after of that, right? Nobody saw what that looked like during, but I can tell you it was not a glamorous process. So when you look at that and you think, oh my gosh, I wish I could have that. I wish I could. I want you to sit and realize you actually could. The difference is the amount of time that you put in. So we were working, 14, 15-hour days every single day consistently. And it was great and totally worth it. But I want people to start to understand that when you see this type of success, it comes with a price tag, and it comes with a level of commitment that you are 100% capable of doing. And I proved that you don't have to be a diamond to win that stuff, because I earned that basically as a sapphire, right? So one of the things I'm going to talk about is how I ranked diamond that same month that we earned that trip, right? And it's so important that you chase the carrot of contests, whether it's leaders retreat or convention, chase it. And don't just buy your way there with PV. Get it with ambassadors and customers as much as you can. And then if you've done everything that you can and you're like, if I just buy this much PV, I can go to this event, then by all means do it in the last hour, right? Because you need to be at the events. The reason why I tell you to chase that carrot is because those events, those contests are designed to promote you to the next rank within the next month or two of the end of that contest. That's why they are there. Without fail, every person who has earned Leaders Retreat on my team, I know they are going to have a rank advancement promotion in the next 60 days if they keep moving forward with their same energy. Because that's what corporate is genius that they have set this up, because they know that if you will push yourself for a good solid 3 to 4 months, that's what it requires to get to where you want to be. And it will give you that hard work is worth it. So oftentimes when you are trying to hit an upper jewel rank, you might hear people who say, you can order without welcome packs to hit that rank. Have you guys ever heard of that before? Maybe you've done it before. There's no shame. The reason why I bring this up is because at Emerald, we filled the gap. There was a gap at Emerald, and I really wanted to be Emerald by convention. It was my first convention. I also knew there was another senior Ruby in Utah who was pushing for Emerald, and darn it, I wanted to be the first Jewel of Utah. And I had worked really, really hard, and I wanted that. And so to fill the gap, we did some orders without welcome packs. The risk in doing this, of course, is your person who just joined does not have a welcome pack and might never get one, which to me is a huge, huge mistake. Mm-hmm. And second of all, you run the risk of losing that rank and never gaining it back in the months to come. I've seen this happen time and time again to people who have pushed for a rank, and it can take so much longer to regain that rank that I tell my team it's not worth it, don't do it. That's never happened to me. I was fortunate enough to be able to put the amount of time in that I never fell back in points. I always held my rank, but that's not typical. Most people, that's not what happens. So Sapphire, I think we only had to do it with 5 and just fill that gap. And with Diamond, we were presented with a problem because we were in a contest for the most amazing trip of a lifetime that we will ever dream of. And we didn't want to I didn't want to order without welcome packs and miss that trip just so that I could be Diamond at convention. I was like, you know what? I'd rather just go to convention as a Sapphire. I mean, that's great. That's great. I mean, I hit that rank 6 months ago, and I know I'm going to hit it with a landslide next month. I knew I would, and I did. I fell into Diamond like before auto ships even processed the following month. But how did we make up? After auto ships processed in April, you guys, I was short 83 orders from Diamond. 83 orders. That basically feels like from here to China. Okay, I woke up and I remember messaging Angel, that's my liaison, my Diamond liaison. I remember messaging him and being like, it's just not my month, pal. Like, I'm good. I'm not going to push it. 83, like I was hoping for maybe like we were 20 away. 20 away I can push. But 83, like there's no way. And I will never forget the message he sent me. He said, Miss Emily, this is your month. And I was sitting at my desk and I sat there and I was like, yes, it is. It is my month, but how am I going to do this? And so I immediately made a message to my team. And you guys, we had worked all month to get ahead. So we had already exhausted all the white lines, all the new people, everything. We had done it all. So I'm like 83 away after we had done everything. So we did all of that. And I decided the only way that this was going to work is if we got 83 orders with welcome packs and 100 PV on top of that. And we did it. Wow. My team went out there and they did it with me. And it was 48 hours later that I got an email from Michelle Minnick with a screen copy of my back office in yellow circled where it said diamond, because the points had updated and she saw it before me. And they were in the office on Sunday for me, helping me do this. They all got a really, really nice catered lunch that next Monday. I heard it was delicious. So I share this story with you because I think that most people, myself included, would have thought that was unachievable, right? It wasn't. And I thought it was not achievable. And then I proved that it was achievable. And it was all about my mindset, deciding to go for it, even though I might fail. And you guys, doing it that way is probably one of the reasons why I'm in at number 6 for Mushiki, right? Not even 7. Like, I came in number 6. And it was probably because we pushed so hard to get those 83 enrollments those last 2 days. So again, also probably why I hit diamond by a landslide the following month. Because when you push for that forward momentum and growth, it will always catapult you into something greater. And sometimes if you don't make that push, it's easier to back down next month and not do it next month, because you've allowed yourself to step back the one time, and there's a piece of your spirit that goes with that, right? You know what I'm talking about? So it's okay to push and fail. And I was so terrified of failing in front of my team, even though I knew that they would love me regardless. I was so, I was nervous of being embarrassed, of wanting something so badly in front of everybody and then not getting it. It's like you go back to that 6-year-old inside of you. So my tactic for getting the 100 PV, this is what I said. What I said to people was, I literally gave my team, this is the plan. This is what we are doing. This is what you sell people on. I said they get a welcome pack, and then you have them get 2 months of X Factor and 2 months of Mega X right now. And they're going to get $20 back for doing that. And then they already know they're going to do Plexus for 60 days or more. I always say 90. So they're going to buy those products anyway. They might as well just get them now because there's $20 off. And that's how we did it. So then on their convenience order that we set up, we left off the X Factor. And most people don't get the Mega X, but we were just throwing it into them. We didn't even give them a chance to think about the fact that they weren't normally going to get that anyway. We just said, oh yeah, well, it's $20 off. And so it's like a buy 2, get 1 free thing anyway. And this is what it is with $20 off. And people did it. I don't know why, but they did it. Probably because we were praying so hard that it just happened. But it was a lot of follow-up. It was a lot of work. And the night before I hit diamond, I had 13 people from my team show up on my doorstep. And I remember Christy Jex grabbed me by the shoulders and she was like, how many orders do we have left? And I was like, we got 13. I don't know where they're going to come from. And she's like, 13? Is that it? Let's just sit down and do this right now. And it was Dr. Kim, Christy Jegs, a bunch of other girls from my team. And we just all sat around and messaged people on my couch. And and people would like give each other massages, and then somebody would get up and be like, all right, who do we need to do now? All right, let's pound it out. Let's hit it. And we just came together. It was one of my favorite nights with my team I've ever had. And then they surprised me with this giant like confetti and hat and big diamond necklace, and just, it was so fun, you guys. So anyway, that is how I would recommend, if you ever want to push for a goal, I would always recommend get a welcome pack and get 100 PV on top of it. You're probably going to have to incentivize with something like $20 or something like that. There was one type of stacking thing that we did all through the Mushiki contest, because you still want to be a smart businesswoman. And you also want to bring people into this business who are committed. And if you're giving like $45 off, guess what? They're not committed and they're probably not going to stick around. So I really like the $20 range. And typically what we do is I pay 10, and then the person somewhere in my levels 1 through 4, they pay 10. So I pay that initial 10, and then that other person, we don't have it pay all the way down, and we're just doing 20. Because at the end of the day, you guys, if they're not going to budge for $20 off, but they're going to budge for 30, they're not going to reorder in most cases. Don't do it to yourself. But 20 is enough. And really, I think that 10 is enough, but 20 just feels nicer, right? And when you're going for a big goal, you just don't want to take the risk of, what if I would have done 20, right? Like maybe they would have done it for 20. Like, just no, 20 is good enough. So I paid the 10, then the sponsoring ambassador pays the 10, but they're offering 20. And the best way to run an incentive where you don't lose your brain as the leader doing it is I say to my team, you pay out the $20. And at the end of this special, you tell me how many people took advantage of it. Say 7 people did it, you owe me $70. And then I pay you $70. It's very fast and effective. Venmo is my favorite avenue to do this in. PayPal is my second favorite. Yes?
We learned almost all of our Christmas.
Oh, yay. This is my cute little girl here. This is Maxine.
Hi.
She's telling me they learned almost all of their Christmas dance at dance tonight. Okay, go scoot upstairs in the shower.
No, I would still have to eat them.
Okay. So these are little tricks that work really, really well that I hope you will utilize in your team, because there is nothing worse than running an incentive and getting out your checkbook and having to write 75 checks and send them to people. And it's no, you only have to do that. Okay, so now you have them enrolled. What are you going to do with them? Right? And let's just say you enrolled 5 people in a month. And maybe you enrolled 15. Maybe you're someone that enrolled more. Let's say you enrolled 15 people, 5 people, 3 people, 1 person. This applies to any type of ambassador, whether they're a customer or an ambassador. You've just enrolled them. You hang up. This is what you're going to do. Get your planner out. You're going to earn one this month, because the month is not going to end until you get 2 ambassadors and 2 customers with 75 PV. You're going to create that because you want that planner. I love the planner that I earned last year, and I can't wait to get the one that they've been teasing us with on the ambassador community page. I think if you're gold and above, senior, something like that. Senior golden above or golden above, they've been like giving us teasers. It's so cute, you guys. You got to have it. So you're going to get out your planner, and you are going to write down. I don't know if you guys can see this right here. I'm going to try. Can you guys see this? How it says check Cami, check Shayla. That's because I enrolled these 2 people last week. Okay. Check Cami, check Shayla. So you enroll them, and you the day that you're on, you're going to count 4 days from that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you write check Cami. And then you turn the page, and exactly a week after that, you write check Cami. And then you turn the page, and exactly a week after that, you write check Cami. And then a week after that, you turn the page and you write check Cami. And then when you see that in your planner, you're going to look at that and it's going to say check Cami, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, I did enroll her. I remember. I forgot, but I remember. And so then you're going to send a message and say, oh, hey, did your products come? Because it's been 4 days, right? If their products haven't come, then you need to be calling with them to see what's the holdup on the order and find out why it hasn't shipped yet. That's why I do the 4-day check. I know we have to wait 5 days to escalate, but most people get their stuff faster than that. And if you don't catch them on day 4, they start the products the wrong way. And then I don't get to do what I like to do, which is be bossy and tell them how to take it the way I want them to take it. So 4 days for me is the magic number. So how did you get your products? How did you like the taste of the pink drink? If they're really on top of it, they've already taken 1 day of stuff, and I say, here's how I take my stuff. It's so much easier. And I send them that. Then the next day, you're going to ask them how they liked the taste of the pink drink if you haven't done that yet. A week later, when you see check Cami, and then you're going to cross off check Cami on that day because you just did your job. There is a pen and paper connection. It's, you guys, it's like a thing. It's actually a real thing. It's a real brain thing. You cross it off because you did it. And it will release chemicals in your brain that will be like, I'm amazing. Okay, so do that. Cross it off. Then a week goes by. You see, check Cami again. I totally forgot she was even on the products. I better check in with her, right? This is what will happen to you the bigger your team will get. So you literally will forget that who you've enrolled and sponsored and where they are in their journey. There's too much. There's too many plates that are spinning on poles. It took me till Sapphire to figure out this system. So it's so, so important. Okay, so on that second check-in, you might send them a website about Candida die-off, and you might say, hey girl, just want to check in with you. Here's this website to check out. It's all about how the body heals itself. Just wanted to see how it's going taking your products every day and if you're drinking 100 ounces of water. And then she's going to say, oh, that's a lot. Yeah, I should probably work on that. And you're going to make some notes. You're going to turn your calendar and you're going to make notes again right next to her name, struggling with water intake. So that next week you don't even have to remember. It's there written for you. And you're going to remember the last conversation. So you know what she's struggling with because you made a note. And guess what? It took you 2 seconds. It will take you hours to fix these little things if you don't just take 2 seconds and do it in the beginning. It's like raising a baby, right? If you let a toddler get away with all the naughty things, they will be an even worse 9-year-old. I have real life experience in this. So remember to take care of your newborn baby and feed it and, change its diaper and really see how many times a day it's pooping. That's important. We all wrote this down with our first baby, right? Like you kept track of that. You got to keep track of this person's poop too. It's very important. Okay. So it's literally like a newborn baby. Treat it like that. Okay. Now, the next week rolls around. You're checking in. They might have been saying they were bloated. You're going to ask about that because you made notes. You're going to ask how they're doing on their water intake because you made notes. And you're also going to say something like, oh, hey, for me around my 3-week mark, my sugar cravings went through the roof. Are you having any of that? No, I'm not. Mine have gone away. Oh my gosh, they have? Oh my gosh, girl, have you thought about posting that on Facebook yet? Because I think that would be so amazing if you shared that. Do you have a picture you could put up with that and tag me in it? Right? So anytime anybody says anything, you are jumping on that with excitement and confidence. And I ask everyone to post the day that they join, by the way, also before I get them off the phone because I enroll them over the phone. And then I ask them to post while we're on the phone. And I would say about 7 out of 10 people actually post. They all tell me yes. And then only about 75% actually do it. So, but there's another, you can watch my YouTube video about how I ask people to do that if you want to know more about the specifics of that. We don't have time for that tonight. And my computer has only 13% battery left. So we got plenty of time. We're so good. But if it goes black or whatever, like, I love you. Okay. So, I can't go upstairs and get my power cord. It will be a disaster. The 4 kids, they're trying to get into bed. Like, it'll just screw everything up. So we're just going to make the 13% count. So, that third check-in, you're checking, you're asking good questions, but you're not saying, oh my gosh, are you having detox? Are you feeling like crap? You're not doing that. You're asking good questions that might evoke a response like that, an open-ended response like, oh, hey, how are you? Tell me a little bit about how things are going. Are you getting your water? You're taking your products? Gosh, I mean, I had some increase of sugar cravings, and I noticed I had some added bloating, but I've heard that's how your body heals. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at that, that website that I sent you last time yet. And they say, no, I'm not having any of that. Oh, great. Perfect. Or yeah, I'm having that. Okay, well, let's talk about what we can do. Maybe you need to stop taking the ProBio 5 for a week. Maybe you need to be taking the BioCleanse and the ProBio together. Or maybe you need to separate them. There are so many things that you can do. So educate yourself on the products. I learned about all of this stuff by watching YouTube videos in my spare time, right? So you can educate yourself and do this. If you're folding laundry, be watching YouTube videos. If you're grocery shopping, put YouTube videos on your phone and walk through the store listening to Sarah Marble, How to Quit Quitting. So by the time that you get done grocery shopping, you're like, I am in this. I am all in, right? Because I really feel like those opportunities are times where you can grow yourself, and then you're like cold messaging people before you drive home to put your groceries away. You're so pumped up. Okay. So look for times to pour into yourself like that. And then at that 4th check-in, they already know their convenience order is going to come out very soon because you told them going into it that you were going to have 4 touches before that ever went out. So they already have it because they're not enrolling without a convenience order turned on. And if they give you any pushback in the enrollment process, you're on the phone with them anyway, and you're going to be very encouraging to them and say, yeah, I'm going to be talking to you 4 times before that ever goes out, and you're going to be in complete control of it anyway. And then you're going to own up to that. And if it needs to be pushed out, you're going to help them do that. But most of the time they're ready for it and it's coming, right? And now they're ordering stuff for their husband on it too, or maybe their kids. Best case scenario, of course. I still have people that quit on me after a month, you guys. Like, don't be thinking that I'm perfect and never have anybody quit. I have a lot of white lines too, right? So that is that teaching that to yourself and teaching that to your team is very, very important to help you have good retention and to put a few stoppers in that bucket full of holes. And the sooner you practice this and teach this to your team, the less frustration everyone will have with this happening. I've also heard of, there is a company called, it starts with an S. Somebody was just telling me about it. One of my team members, and then I'm going to look it up. My realtor actually said, oh yeah, I heard about this company. Have you heard of it yet? Scipio. I'm going to write it in here. You could look into Scipio. It will send reminders for you. Similar to Alexa. Maybe you're having great success with Alexa and you use that instead. But whatever you do, you must have a system for this. I am as blue comes, which means I don't like systems. But guess what? You gotta have systems if you want to get to diamond. And I just really wanted to get to diamond. So I made systems that I literally still have to force myself to do because I don't like systems, but I do love systems. Okay. So I don't like planners either. I didn't even buy a planner until 2 months after I hit Emerald because I was like, okay, if I don't really try, then I can't really fail. If you are feeling that way, how is that working? You're probably not really succeeding. You're probably not living up to your potential. I wasn't. And I hit Emerald in 6 months, but I still wasn't living up to my potential. Think of how much better I would have been had I had systems and a planner that whole time. I probably wouldn't have lost some of those amazing influencers that I enrolled early on. Dang it. Right? So we learn these lessons. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to have failures. But what I hope is that at the very least, at the end of this call, you will start believing that if you believe in yourself and you dare to do something great and amazing, that you can achieve it. There's this beautiful, beautiful quote that I'm going to end with tonight, and it is from one of my favorite books, Brene Brown, Daring Greatly. If you aren't reading it yet, get it on Amazon. Do it. Just do it. And this is our family theme. I did a shortened version for my kids, but this is our family theme. And I want you to think about this. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena. His face is marred by dust and sweat and blood and people quitting on him and white lines showing up and people going through detox, all that. Who strives valiantly, who errs, comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end of the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. Remember that. Always go and try to fail, because what will happen is more often than not, you will succeed. And even when you fail, you have succeeded.
Wow, that was so good. I love that quote. That's amazing. I just took a ton of notes. I know you have very little battery left.
We have 7% now. We're good. We still have
7%. So maybe we can have a couple questions. Is that okay, Emily?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a call with my leaders in 13 minutes. So
okay. All right. So we have a little bit of time, guys. If you guys want to ask her any questions.
I have to tell y'all something. So Emily was in Hawaii, obviously, and Ashley and I had the extreme pleasure of getting to chat with her for like 20 minutes after the welcome reception. And Emily, will you please say what you said about blue and cute and Louis Vuitton?
What did I say?
You were like, I can kind of quote you. I think it'd be cooler if you said it, but basically you were like, being blue and fun and unorganized is not cute. Having a Louis Vuitton is cute. And you basically told me to go get a planner. And literally the next day I went to Lily Pulitzer with Ashley and bought us these planners.
I'm sure I said something. It's darling. It's very cute. I basically said, because all the time I used to say this, and people say this to me. It's just not my personality. I don't like to be scheduled. And, and you're like, oh, you think I'm just so cute this way, and you are, but it's actually not cute as a businesswoman. It's the opposite of that. Okay. What's better is being, I don't want to offend anyone with my language, is being a badass who can go buy 2 Louis Vuitton bags because you're diamond and you've paid off all of your credit card debt, right? And one of my favorite purchases I've ever made was when we were in Maui last month, and I was able to do that in celebration of being debt free. And it was something I could have purchased the year before and just put on my credit card, right? But I didn't. I waited until we were debt free so I could make that purchase out of my checking account. And every time I put that bag on, it's symbolic to me of the hard work, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the error, the shortcomings, the all of it. Because I dared greatly and I did something that I was afraid I might fail at.
I have one quick question. When you're saying you're working 14 to 15 hour days, how'd you manage to do that with 4 kids? And what did that look like for those time blocking moments? And I'm sure you had a share meeting in there.
Do you want like the filtered answer, or do you want to like really know what it looks like?
I want to know the real.
Really know.
I want to really know.
So Brene Brown talks about how you're not supposed to be totally vulnerable about certain things because you don't want to bear that burden onto people who might not be ready to hear it. It's kind of one of those situations, but what I will say is that there were many nights where I stayed up until 3:00 in the morning. And then my husband would get up and get the kids off to school so that I could sleep in until, 8 or 9. And for me, I got my most focused, best work done between the hours of like 9 and 3 a.m. And so, and then in the daytime, what I would do is I would get up, get my kids would go off to school, or my husband would get them off to school, and I would come downstairs at like 8:30 or 9, and then I would work from 9 to 11 solid. And there were many days where I literally, like, you see the shirt and they're like, I survive on dry shampoo. I'm like, no, that's a tattoo across my body. Like there were just, I didn't shower very much. Okay. Because I was clean. I wasn't not clean. I'm not saying I wasn't clean. I didn't stink. I took care of myself. But you know what I'm saying? Like there were lots of things that I gave up so that all of my free time was work. And then my family was very important. We had a lot of takeout and we ate a lot of pancakes and cereal for dinner. I went like 4 months without really making dinner, and it was a really nice break, you guys. And I love to cook, but that was kind of fun. It's not so bad. And the thing is that when you are dedicating yourself to a goal, you don't have to work 15 hours. You don't have to do it the way I've done it. If you're sitting on this call and you're like, I just want to get to gold, and if I have to do that to get to diamond, I don't want that job. You don't have to. I have Christy Jex, who's on my team, is not doing her journey that way. She's still going to get to diamond this spring, you guys. You don't have the way that I did it. You don't have to do it that way. I'm just sharing my experience with you because people think it's like this anomaly, right? And there's a reason why only 7 people earned that Musha Key trip, right? So you can still make it to diamond and do this business with balance, but I'm just telling you what it looked like to earn Musha Key because people find that fascinating, right? And maybe crazy, maybe a little bit crazy, which I am. It's fine. Like I'm type A, perfectionist. And that is a struggle for me as much as it is a blessing that helps me do things that most other people won't do. Okay. So I like to, I'd work from like 9 to 11, really solid. I put my IPA first, my messages, my follow-up, my reach out, then 3-way messages with my team, then a social media post. After those 2 things are done, then a team page post, then put my computer down and go be with my family as much as possible for 2 hours or so, right? Like 9 to 11, I work. Then from 11 to 1, I am going on a walk with my kids, picking someone up from preschool. My husband did all the grocery shopping because we didn't know about Walmart grocery pickup back then. Not that I would have cooked anyway, but, just do it. So he took on all the laundry. I mean, I wasn't really doing anything other than working, taking care of my kids, and occasionally showering. So because I was maximizing every minute of my day and utilizing every minute of my day. Now that, again, that does not mean that that's what you have to do. And it also doesn't mean that that is what is required to make your goal. What I want you to hear when you hear me share this with you is be efficient with whatever time you want to commit. So if you're working full time and you're doing plexus, like when you get home from work at night, then you sit down and you give your plexus business enough love and attention for you to reach out to people and to follow up. And I don't know how much time that's going to take you. I don't think it's fair for me to give you an amount of time you have to invest, because you can be very, very efficient and get a lot done with very little time. I didn't watch television for 2 years. I really didn't. I just watched This Is Us. I just like binge watched it last week. First time in 2 years I've watched television. It's a great show, by the way. After you get to Diamond, I will tell you can watch it then. It'll still be there. Okay. So last year when everybody was watching it, I didn't even know that was going on. Right? So again, you don't have to work like that, but I want you to be aware that there will be sacrifices to things. So pick the things you're going to sacrifice and be consistent in that. And get a planner. Gosh, they're giving them away. Go get it. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that was great.
Okay. My husband brought the power cord. We have 4 minutes till I have to be on with my team.
One more quick question, guys.
Thanks,
if anyone
Sean.
has anything else.
What was that?
So thanks to your happy.
Oh yeah, thank you to
Yeah,
him.
totally. Thank you
Mhm.
so much, Emily.
So
Really
this
good
is kind
information.
of a long question, but or I should say it might be a long explanation, but you can kind of just share like a snippet of how do you onboard people? I mean, I know you have that 4 system, like that 4 touches, but like say, is there a different onboarding system you have for if somebody's just a wholesale or if they want to work the business?
Yes. So if somebody wants to work the business, I immediately, especially if they're like a level 1 or a level 2, really close to me, I basically spoon feed them little tasks to do. Because there's 2 ways to onboard someone when they want to do the business. You completely overwhelm them and they go away, or you spoon feed them and they do little tasks and create amazing things. So one of the things that I'll tell you is I feel like I'm really, sometimes I can be really good at this and other times I can totally blow it. Okay. And between January and April, I fast started 5 girls, 5. And 3 of them were a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. And we literally did it back to back to back to back. So and all of them have held their gold rank. And one of them is now a ruby. So yes. When people tell you, oh, fast start gold, like some people will tell you fast start golds are like cursed. That's not true. I have 2 that are succeeding. So I have one that's a senior ruby and one that's a ruby. And the senior ruby, she's going to be emerald soon. So hold on. Okay. The senior ruby will be emerald soon. Sorry, that's what I was saying. So anyway, what I'm saying is that what I like to do is if they say, I'm serious, I'm all in, I want the business, then the very first thing I'm telling them to do is I need a list of 63. I learned this from Melissa Eichenhorst. It's a great video. 30 people that you think need the products, 30 people that need the business, 3 people you can call today and say, order this with me, and they do it. And then I also, any customers, I really like it if they get a few customers with a bag of the pink drink. That's like my favorite thing because it's so low maintenance. I like that. But we're really, that's what I did for Fast Start Golds. And then post I always make them do a video once they like, especially if the products work fast for them. I like to get like a 3 or 4 minute video out of them that they post on Facebook. I tell them to post, once a day with Plexus. Used to be more, but the Facebook algorithms have changed. And again, we just don't have time to go into that on this call, but I'm going to do a YouTube video that I'll share with you, Melanie, after I make it. It's probably going to be tonight because I have makeup on. I might as well do it tonight. So anyway, everything has changed. You really should not be posting more than 3 times a day on Facebook, period. Mm-hmm. So, and like one of those could be Plexus, but yeah, I would not do more than that. So quality versus quantity now, where when I was going to Diamond, it was not that way. So we have to change because the rules have changed. The game has changed. So anyway, so just remember little pieces of information, like they come to you, say, I think I want to do a business. Okay. How about you make this list? Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't do that. No, I can't. Okay. Well then they're probably not going to do the business. Right. So it's okay, but watch their actions. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. Right. Okay. So, okay.
Thank you.
I gotta go. I'm sorry. I gotta go.
We love you. We appreciate
you guys.
So much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Get a quick picture, real quick.
Oh yeah.
Okay, super fast.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Bye,
yeah.
Ashley, that was an awesome question. Thank you for asking that.